Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the zodiac sign Aries and their health, and it does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Well, anyway, people, first thing to look at, okay, Aries is a sign that often has very good vitality. They're often very energetic. They're very active. They like to move around, do a lot of different things. The thing about Aries, though, is as far as what they're susceptible to in terms of health issues, they often can have problems with the head and the face because this is what corresponds with the zodiac sign Aries. They could have inflammation to the face, facial eruptions. They could have injuries to the face. I think what's interesting about Aries is that you look at the sign and it could be, I associate Aries with being very combative more so than any of the other signs. And I think they'd be a little bit more susceptible to injuries to the face, even due to the fact that they would likely get into more physical confrontations on average than any of the other zodiac signs. So that is one thing to look at. And as far as Aries goes in their health, and now Aries is generally a sign that has a good constitution. They're not ones to get sick very often. You look at this sign and some other things connected with perhaps some, we could say, some health issues, because Aries does rule the head, and a lot of times I think they can have injuries to their head because there is a propensity toward being impulsive and impetuous, and Aries could be very impatient. Now, it could be sometimes Aries is not the most prudent or cautious sign. They could have an injury to the head, for example, say by not wearing, say, a helmet when they're riding or something, when they're riding a motorcycle. Another example could be going under, say they're doing mechanical work on a vehicle and they're going under the car and they got the car jack up, but they don't quite have the car jack in the position it's supposed to be, and then the car can fall and might do something to their head or their skull. And I know that's a little extreme example, but you understand my point is that Aries just needs to be a little bit more prudent about things and not and be willing to take more precautions, and then you have less injuries, period. And Aries, I think along with Sagittarius, I would say, really the propensity toward like car accidents, because Aries could just be very, a lot of times due to impatience, could be trying to pass somebody without looking right behind them when they need to. And Sagittarius is just, they could be flat out reckless, and they're just not really always paying attention. So another thing is that you got to look at, as far as Aries goes, another health issue could be, well, health issues in general could be connected with the brain. It could be, for example, apoplexy or brain aneurysm, could be hemorrhaging of some kind. Now, strokes could be more common with Aries than perhaps other signs, because the thing is, it can cause, so a lot of times a stroke can cause, say, like an eye issue. I don't know if they always do. I know they at least sometimes do. You have to look that up if you want to learn more about that. But the thing about it is, Aries also corresponds with the eyes, and people that have Aries, sun, moon, or ascendant may have issues with their eyes earlier than the average person, say, for example, needing glasses. Eyes might deteriorate, or there might be some other difficulty with them, such, for example, floaters or glaucoma, just eye disorders in general. And another thing, too, if there's any mental health issue that Aries could succumb to, I would think the IED, it's called intermittent explosive disorder, which could be sporadic or just impulsive outbursts of anger, and could come spontaneously, and sometimes perhaps often over things that can be would seem insignificant or trivial That's what I would see as far as something that which could be a mental disorder associated with the sign, and something and anything else that might be associated with anger, because Aries is a sign that could be acrimonious. It is ruled by Mars. And another thing too about Aries is that I think Aries can succumb to stress pretty readily too. Keep in mind that, I mean, Aries is a sign that often likes to be so active and can't be stagnant. They just want to start so many projects sometimes simultaneously, but they don't always finish them. And because of that, you get all this frustration, sometimes an exasperation build up due to the fact of not being able to finish all of them. So there could be things connected with stress, related things with Aries and anxiety perhaps as well. And the thing about Aries too is keep in mind that on the 6th house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Aries, Virgo often falls on the 6th house cusp. So if you're gonna, you want to look at that too, because Aries may get things that are associated with the sign Virgo as far as health issues may go. It could be things connected with anxiety, some kind of thing associated with worrying, something perhaps something with the intestines, and perhaps even ulcers could occur. So those are some things to look at as far as the health with Aries goes. So, and another thing when you look at Aries too is that they are a sign that is, they generally, the thing I look at them is that they can be rather healthy. The sign itself, they could, in terms of their build and physique, can often be spare and lithe and lean. And a lot of this has to do with them constantly doing things. And the one good thing is that this keeps them often in good shape. But on the other hand, as I stated before, you have to worry about the overexertion thing and working too laboriously, working too hard. And also, I think what's important for Aries to remember is to hydrate and replenish fluids, maybe more so than the average sign, because Aries is a lot of times they are just very active. They don't want to be stagnant, and they're burning a lot of the calories, and really they're losing fluids as a result often. So those are some things to look at as far as the zodiac sign Aries and health. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Aries and health. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about Taurus and health. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.